Imagine our Prime Minister appear on the TV tonight to make an announcement. Friends, to protect you, to protect your family, tonight, midnight onward, the income tax in the country will be abolished. Don't you find this quite unrealistic? Believe me, it is not. BJP leader Subramaniam Swamy once recommended that the government should abolish income tax altogether. This move, he felt, should be among the first thing that the government should do if re-elected. Because BJP MP Subramaniam Swamy support this, he says that to revive the economic growth of the country, income tax should be abolished. The logic was simple. People engaged in the agriculture sector were already not paying taxes. In the urban sector, the very poor don't pay income tax, and the very rich have chartered accountant, so they pay very little of it. It's really the middle class or the working class who have fixed salary who pay the taxes, and it's matter of harassment for them. There are several countries in the world where no personal income tax exists. But for a large country like India, is it really possible to do this? Well, to understand this topic in depth, let's begin from the beginning. History of income tax in India in the ancient time. In India, the system of direct taxation came into force in one form or another even from ancient time. There are references has been made to both in Manusmriti and Arthashastra to a diversity of tax measure. The thorough analysis provided by Manusmriti and Arthashastra on the subject clearly showed the existence of a considered taxation system even in the ancient time. Not just this, taxes were imposed on various classes of individuals like actors, dancers, singers, and even dancing girls. Taxes in the ancient time were payable in the shape of gold coin, cattle grain, raw material, and also by providing personal services. The Income Tax Act of 1860. In year 1860, the tax was first introduced in India by Sir James Wilson with the intention to meet the losses sustained by the government due to the military mutiny of 1857. The main feature of Income Tax Act 1860 were exemption of earning from agriculture produce from taxation, premium payable for life insurance were exempted from taxation, Hindu undivided family were addressed as a separate taxable unit. From that time, many amendments of far-reaching nature were made in Income Tax Act by the Union Budget each year. Types of taxes and tax structure in India. The Constitution of India gives the authority to government to levy taxes in India under the Indian tax system. As per the directive of the Indian tax system, the government collects taxes from its citizens to generate income for undertaking public work projects and improve the country's economic footprint. The Indian tax system allows common taxpayer to plan their taxes and earn maximum tax saving benefits. Additionally, if an individual invests money into any of the tax system instrument, there is a provision for tax exemption on the same. Let us understand the different type of taxes in India now. What are the different type of taxes? Mainly, there are two kinds of taxes defined under the Indian tax system, which are direct taxes and indirect taxes. Let us now understand direct taxes in India. As per the Indian tax system, direct taxes in India are the ones that are directly levied on the individual or the taxpayer income. The Central Board of Direct Taxes overlook the direct taxes in India and cannot get transferred to any other individual or legal entity. Income tax. The tax that gets levied on the annual income or the profit of an individual or an entity is known as income tax. Therefore, Indian tax system recognizes both salaried and self-employed individuals who are earning an income to be liable to pay income taxes. Also, there is a tax exemption limit up to a certain point that gets controlled by the government. Following are some other types of taxes which fall under the direct tax category. These are wealth taxes, gift taxes, estate duty, etc. Let us now understand indirect taxes. Taxes that get imposed on product and services when they are bought and sold are called indirect taxes in India. The seller of the service or product collects these taxes under the Indian tax system. The tax gets levied as an addition to the original price of the product or service, which increase their cost. Following are the different types of indirect taxes in India. Goods and service tax. Some of the other types of taxes which fall into this category are security transaction taxes, property taxes, professional taxes, entertainment taxes, registration fee, stamp duty, education cess, entry tax, road tax, toll tax, etc. I know the list is long, but that's the fact. According to the data from February 2020, 1.3 billion population of our country, 14.6 million Indian pays taxes. This is about 1% of the population of our country. The reason for this isn't that many people aren't paying taxes or keeping black money. Well, the reason is simply that a significant portion of these people do not reach the exemption limit as their income is not enough. Saying that the people that do pay the income tax feel that they are being exploited by the government. List of exempted income tax under Section 10. There are so many different categories which are exempted by the Government of India under tax system. These are agriculture income, meal coupon, mobile phone bills, internet bills, leave travel allowances, leave travel concession, reimbursement, individual share from HUF, benefit from retirement in certain condition, PF and gratuity. Now when we have a fair idea about taxation in India, it's time to straight away jump to our main topic. Can India survive with 0% income tax? Granted, that's a bit unlikely to happen considering mankind's long history with taxes. It seems that taxes and government go hand in hand. Nevertheless, let's indulge our imagination for a moment and think about the differences that would make to live in a tax-free society. When we describe something as taxing, we generally mean that it's burdensome or demanding. Yet without taxes, many public goods like roads, libraries, and hospital care would be unaffordable for most of us. And other services such as state-funded housing, unemployment benefits, and our nationwide response to COVID-19 would not exist at all. If we polled ourselves, we would find all sorts of noble sentiment about how we would use that extra money if all taxes were exempted. Some would talk about saving for retirement, putting their kids to college, giving to non-profit organization, and otherwise making the world a better place to live. But let's be honest, while all those things are great idea, the reality is that if we had an extra rupee for our personal benefit or pleasure, it will ultimately lead to more money being circulated in the economy, increasing the economic growth of the country. And the money that they will openly deposit in the bank will lead to increased deposit with the bank, and the banks will be able to lend money to public more easily. The interest rate will fall, causing people to borrow more, spend more, and boost economic growth further. Now let's see the potential disadvantage of doing this. The biggest and the clear-cut disadvantage will be revenue loss for the government. Let's now look at this graph to know the exact revenue loss. The graph shows the percentage which the various taxes add to the government revenue and the expenditure. About tax revenue of the government will disappear if income tax is abolished. So where will this huge amount be recovered from? It isn't so that the government will let go around major percentage of their tax revenue without being burdened by the loss. The government will want the money back in some or other form or sources. How can these money be recovered? Perhaps you have an idea, so I request you to pause the video for a minute and do drop your suggestion in the comment box. In conclusion, I would like to say that overall the government will have to weigh its option. The income that government collect from all form of taxes are used in various programs that help and that nurture India, without which a nation cannot run. If the potential benefit of abolishing income taxes are more, or is it more favorable to continue with income tax, this can be judged only after the careful calculation by the economists. The humble request from the government would be that whatever the decision they'll make, they should make in the favor of their citizen. This is Surendra Kaushal from Breaking Codes. We request you to subscribe our channel and share it with your friends and colleagues if you like the content of this channel. Thank you.